Colonialism. The very word evokes images of subjugation, exploitation, and the systematic dismantling of vibrant cultures. In the case of Africa, this historical wound continues to bleed, leaving lasting scars on the continent's social, economic, and political landscapes. From the late 19th to the mid-20th century, European powers carved up Africa like a cake, imposing their will and extracting vast resources with little regard for the people they subjugated. The consequences of this exploitation continue to reverberate today, hindering Africa's progress and shaping its destiny. While the formal era of colonialism may have ended, its legacy lives on in the myriad challenges facing African nations. Decades of exploitation have left many countries economically crippled, with their natural wealth siphoned off to line the pockets of colonial powers. The arbitrary borders drawn during the scramble for Africa sowed the seeds of ethnic conflict, hindering national unity and stability. This essay delves into the enduring impacts of colonialism on Africa, examining its manifestations in the continent's economic disparities, cultural landscape, and social fabric. Colonialism's most insidious legacy is arguably the economic inequality it has entrenched in Africa. European powers established extractive economic systems designed to funnel wealth back to the metropole, leaving African economies underdeveloped and reliant on their former colonizers. This systematic exploitation stripped Africa of its resources and human capital, creating a cycle of poverty that continues to this day. The effects are visible in the stark economic disparities between Africa and the West. Many African countries remain trapped in a cycle of poverty, burdened by debt, and lacking the infrastructure necessary for sustainable growth. The prices of their raw materials are often dictated by global markets controlled by former colonial powers, perpetuating an unfair trade system. This economic imbalance has fueled social unrest, migration, and brain drain, further hindering Africa's development. Colonialism's impact on Africa extends beyond the economic realm, leaving an indelible mark on the continent's cultural fabric. From language and education to religion and social norms, the vestiges of colonial influence are deeply woven into the bloodstream of African societies. While some argue that colonialism brought progress and civilization to Africa, this perspective ignores the brutal reality of cultural imposition and the suppression of indigenous traditions. The adoption of European languages as official languages in many African countries, while facilitating communication with the outside world, has also come at the expense of indigenous languages. This linguistic dominance has implications for cultural preservation, identity, and access to education. Moreover, the introduction of Western education systems, often designed to serve colonial interests, has sometimes led to the devaluation of traditional knowledge systems and ways of learning. Seeds of discord, social challenges, and colonial legacies. The social challenges confronting many African nations today can be traced back to the divisive policies implemented during colonial rule. The borders drawn by European powers often grouped together diverse ethnicities and communities with little regard for existing social structures or historical animosities. This disregard for pre-colonial realities has fueled ethnic tensions, conflicts, and political instability in the post-independence era. Furthermore, the legacy of colonialism continues to cast a long shadow over issues of governance, justice, and human rights in Africa. The authoritarian tendencies of many post-colonial regimes can be linked to the colonial systems of governance they inherited, which often prioritize control and exploitation over democracy and accountability. Addressing these deeply rooted social and political challenges requires acknowledging the enduring influence of colonialism and actively dismantling its harmful legacies. A call for reckoning, confronting the past, shaping the future. The specter of colonialism continues to loom large over Africa, influencing its present and shaping its future. Understanding the complexities of this legacy is crucial for charting a path towards sustainable development, social justice, and genuine self-determination. While the past cannot be undone, its lessons can inform a more just and equitable future. Acknowledging the enduring impacts of colonialism is not about dwelling in the past or assigning blame. It is about recognizing the historical forces that have shaped present-day realities and using this understanding to inform more effective policies and interventions. By confronting the ghosts of colonialism head-on, Africa can break free from the shackles of its past and forge a new path towards a brighter future. This requires a collective effort from both former colonial powers and African nations to acknowledge past injustices, promote economic justice, and support the development of strong and independent African institutions. The journey towards healing and progress begins with a shared commitment to confronting the enduring wound of colonialism and building a future free from its grip.